Hello, my lovelies. This is going to be your weekly shadow work. We're going to include the conversations with your inner self. So these are 2 decks that work together, so you can literally talk to yourself about how these things make you feel. This black side is about the triggers and the things we need to identify, and the white side is how we integrate or how we find the balance. So if they resonate for you, sit and talk it out with yourself. That's exactly what this deck is meant to do. All right, what do we need to know? Acting out. Recall a time when you acted out of character. What happened? Insecurities. What are your biggest insecurities? Vulnerability. What makes you feel unsafe and vulnerable? Inner teen. When in your inner teen years, in your teenage years, what did you not receive and how has this impacted you? Self-talk. How do you speak to yourself when you're angry with yourself? Does it differ from how you speak to yourself when you're angry with other people? Admiration. What traits do you admire in others, and could these be disowned aspects of yourself? And anger. How do you cope with your anger? So those might be some triggers to work through this week. Let's see how we find the balance. How do we integrate? All right, strengths. How can you transform negative shadow traits into strength? Boundaries. Do you set boundaries for yourself? If not, where do you see the need to? Releasing anger. I can feel my anger melt away when? Repeat. I am safe and secure as I explore all facets of my being. Nurture. What ways can you nurture your inner child or inner teen? Subconscious mind. What might your dreams reveal about your shadow self? And the color of. What color represents your healing and why? All right, let's see what we have for our shadow work this week. All right, what does the collective need to know for their healing this week? What is hidden from us in our shadow? Ooh, we have the High Priestess. So if we're ignoring our intuition, that's definitely something we want to stop doing. The key to our success is listening to our divine guidance, our internal GPS, as I like to call it. It's our compass, right? It's how we figure out what is going to work for us and what isn't. Through trial and error, sometimes we might doubt our own abilities. We might doubt what direction we're supposed to take things, what step we need to take next, right? That's the ego talking. And the reason the ego is so loud, our intuition's been turned down. So I feel like that's going to be huge for us going forward. All right, we have the 6 of Swords. So we are walking away from something that's not great for us. Maybe we are finally starting to listen to that intuition, and so we're able to avoid some disasters as a result. And we are really finally letting go of those things, severing ties, walking away, travel, relocation, movement. So instead of being stuck, there's movement forward. Well, that's a really great step in the right direction. Also, we might be in a fear mentality, but we're learning how to change those things, especially where finances are concerned. Really believing that the universe has your back. I always feel like if we just trust that our needs will be met, they typically are. I mean, in my life, I've seen that over and over again. But you may have to cut out some things in your life in order to actually hear that internal compass go off. All right, so a string of bad luck might be plaguing you. I feel like you're trying to turn things around for the better, and that you might need to stop being so pessimistic and start setting some goals or planning to make a move to go forward. There could also be somebody in your life that's coming in with an offer, although they are a little bit ill-equipped at this time. I feel like they're lacking some courage or some confidence, or they're struggling with their own insecurities at this time, and there needs to be some balance where maybe there hasn't been. So pouring into your own cup this week's going to help you to see things differently. Self-love, self-care could be important, really trusting your intuition, eliminating the obstacles that you know you don't want to take forward, overcoming some challenges financially, and really kind of turning the wheel in your favor again by making these changes will help you to go forward. We have the Hierophant. So some higher learning could also be required. Again, I feel like if you listen to source energy, see how there's those little beams of light coming down? We have to trust that divine wisdom, and I feel like if you're connected to source energy, the rest will start to fall into place. All right, there's the truth or the clarity. No more confusion. We're trying to get out of the confusing state. And the Knight of Swords. Finding our courage is going to help us to make these new offers or to see new opportunities coming in. And then we will be able to communicate. I feel like currently there's a period of no communication. Maybe that's the problem. I feel like you might be communicating, but you're not listening. So it's a two-sided coin, right? We have to also be willing to actively listen, not just, oh, I heard it, but were you listening? That's something that I feel like a lot of us do. Sometimes we respond just out of the need to like say you heard something, but did you actually hear it? Did you absorb the wisdom that Source is trying to give you? Are you listening to the people in your life? Are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to ego? So those might be some things that are challenges this week. Five of Wands, we have a lot of animosity, arguing, conflict, and chaos. Looking like we're leaving that behind. There's that new love offer. He's finding his confidence and his courage, but I do feel like there's still a lot of worry here, maybe about rejection. I feel like this person's also evolving, that they're no longer in this weak energy, or they're no longer in this energy of lacking confidence or lacking courage. I feel like they know what their feelings are and they intend to come forward with that offer or opportunity, and whatever you say is whatever you say. They'll be okay either way. There's multiple offers, it looks like, coming in. We have two knights and a king here, so something comes in rather quickly. I feel like you may have to make a quick decision about what you want to do, and part of this has to do with your goals for your financial freedom and success. The Ten of Coins is a life of luxury, so somebody might be offering a life like that to you. Maybe they want to help take care of you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe this is a legacy or an inheritance as well coming in, and it helps to restore the balance in your life. So by giving to yourself first, you're able to actually give to others. And the Five of Cups, you have to shift your perspective to gain the balance. I feel like the perspective needs to change in your romantic life and your finances more than anything, and there is the communication. So equal give and take between you and Source energy. What is it that Source has been trying to show you that maybe you're missing? Maybe you're missing the bigger picture. Maybe you aren't collaborating with your spirit team. Maybe you're not listening to your internal guidance. Maybe you're not listening to Source. Whatever the case might be, there needs to be some communication. Have you prayed recently? If you pray, do you meditate regularly? Are you sitting and spending a few minutes every day in some sunshine in the fresh air? Are you sitting kind of in the same four walls all the time? Those are some things that you might need to address. Have you spoken to a human being lately, or is all your interaction done solely online? So those might be some ways that you can start to communicate more effectively. No more confusion. We are gaining the clarity that we need in order to see things. There is a breakthrough coming. I feel like the breakthrough comes with communication as well, and that you might be burnout, exhausted, and need some time to rest. I also feel like you could be a little bit burnt out. Maybe you've had to be strong for a very long time, and it's okay to take a day, to yourself and just go, I'm all peopled out. It's time to take some time for me. However this fits for you, I feel like finding the balance is going to help overcome the anxiety, the anxious feelings, or the sleepless nights, the worry, all of these things that can kind of bog us down, and that seeing the truth for what it is also going to help you to communicate more effectively. All right, anything else that could be hidden from us this week? Four of Swords, that you're burnout and exhausted, so make rest a priority. And if you don't, you will be facing some major tower moments, lots of big changes. Maybe that's the change that needs to happen. Maybe you start to take better care of yourself this week so you're not so physically burnt out, and that can definitely change things. Watch out for some arrogant people. I do feel like there could be a little bit of a monkey wrench there with maybe somebody who's not quite being honest with themselves, but the karma will be dealt accordingly. All right, what else do we need to know? King of Wands. So I do feel like this person is also evolving. You've got two kings here that started as knights. So they are evolving. You're going to have multiple options to choose from. Somebody's facing divine karma or divine judgment. One is very passionate, driven, ambitious, and outspoken. The other one wears their heart on their sleeve. It could be the same person. And the Page of Swords. There could also be a lot of gossip or a lot of curiosity between the two, trying to figure out what's going on with you. You will have to make a choice so that there is some balance restored. One of them could lead to a wish fulfillment and a lot of emotional happiness and expansion. direction, and it will take some strength and courage on your part to go forward. Ultimately, the choice is yours, so choose wisely and follow that internal GPS or your guidance.